Hey, I hope you're all having a wonderful day. And if not, listen, I hope it gets better. All right, listen, I really got to make fun of the air quotes intellectual Sam Harris because let's all face reality. Sam Harris suffers from Trump derangement syndrome, like most of the left. Now, he'll call himself reasonable, and to be quite honest, he's not. It's coming from an emotional state. But I'll get to that in just a second. Hold on. Hey, go. Riley, I don't care. Stop. I love you. Yes. Don't. Yeah, good girl. Okay. All right. Anyhow. All right. So I'm going to play some Sam Harris stuff. Now, this has been beat like a dead horse, but you haven't had my thinking on it. So let's go. Because, well, I'm better than other people. So let's go with his interview. I may let this play, I may pause. It's just interesting. Let's set it up. There we go.
I mean, Hunter Biden, at that point, Hunter Biden literally could have had the corpses of children in his basement. I would
Corpses of children. Now, I'm sure Sam Harris will tell you that this is like I was using the maximum thing because I'm big brained. Okay, all right, whatever. I don't care about the children, corpses stuff. I really don't. Because he's being melodramatic. So much for being an intellectual.
not have cared, right? It's like there's nothing. First of all, it's Hunter Biden, right? It's not Joe Biden.
Okay, right. It's Hunter Biden, not Joe Biden. Okay, you know, but the right's argument would be, you know, oh yeah, if one of the Trump kids did this, all right, I'm setting that aside. Okay, Sam, I'm going with it. All right, your argument.
But even if whatever scope of Joe Biden's corruption is, like if we could just go down that rabbit hole endlessly and understand that he's getting kickbacks from Hunter Biden's deals in Ukraine or wherever else, right, or China, it is infinitesimial
Mm-hmm.
compared to the corruption we know Trump is
Whoa, whoa. Okay. Oh, sorry. Let this
involved
go.
in. It's like a firefly to the sun, right? I mean, like there's just it doesn't even stack up against Trump University.
Stop right there. Yes, Trump University got into some trouble, right? And it did. Uh, but a person that is the sitting vice president, former vice president, and former senator of the United States dealing with a foreign government and getting kickbacks from that at the U.S. taxpayer expense. They are literally what you're talking about, Sam, is the taxpayers of the United States funding a foreign government, Ukraine and China, as you said, and then politicians getting kickbacks from that. Wow. Wow. Trump University is worse. Wow. Okay, moving on, I guess. I mean, that's your justification, Sam, and your big intellectual brain.
Right? Trump University as a story is worse than anything that could be in Hunter Biden's laptop,
See my previous statement.
in my view. Right? Now that doesn't answer the people who say it's still completely unfair to not have looked at the laptop in a timely way and to have
Okay, hold on. Let me rewind that. Hold on.
to not have looked. Now that doesn't
Wait,
answer the people who say it's still completely unfair to not have looked at the laptop in a timely way and to have
wait. So you're admitting that's not fair. You're admitting it. Okay, well, that's good of you, I guess. And your big brain, atheist, intellectual BS.
shut down the New York Post's Twitter account. Like that's just a conspiracy. That's a left-wing conspiracy to deny the presidency to Donald Trump. Absolutely, it was. Absolutely. Right. But I think it
Well, glad you admit it. Moving on.
was warranted. Right. And again, it's a coin toss as to whether or not
Sam, I'm sorry.
that particular piece
I'm really sorry. I was the one that said we should move on, but you've just said something I really struggle with there, which is
the kids in the basement.
No, fuck the kids in the basement.
Exactly.
I'm interested
in kids in the basement. Yeah, fuck that. You were just trying to be melodramatic. So much for big brain.
Democracy. You are saying you are content with a left-wing conspiracy to prevent somebody being democratically re-elected as president.
Well, no, I'm content. Well, but the thing is, it's just not left-wing, right? So Liz Cheney is not left-wing. Right, Liz Cheney is doing everything in her power
to prevent somebody being democratically
it's not but there's nothing conspiracy. It's not. It was a conspiracy out in the open. It
was a conspiracy out in the open. Really? So you admit what Trump supporters have said that it was an attack against Trump.
But it doesn't matter if it was. It doesn't matter what part's conspiracy out in the open. It doesn't.
Conspiracy to prevent somebody being democratically elected.
But there's nothing conspiracy. It's not. It was a conspiracy out in the open. But it doesn't matter if it was. It doesn't matter what part's conspiracy, what part's out in the open.
Oh, well, now your big brain's trying to work through things. Trump derangement syndrome?
I mean, I think it's like if people get together and talk about what should we do about this phenomenon, you know, if it's like if there was an asteroid hurtling toward Earth, and we got in a room together with all of our friends and had a conversation about what we could do to deflect its course, right? Is that a conspiracy? You know, like some of
Sam. You just stepped into a big pile of dog doo-doo because you suffer from Trump derangement syndrome and you think Trump is dangerous. So then Sam went on to try and correct himself after the big shitstorm opened up. And let's read. There's a podcast clip circulating. Yeah, no shit, Sam. That seems to be confusing many people about my views on Trump. No, not really, but let's continue, which is understandable because I wasn't speaking very clearly. No, Sam, you were speaking very clearly. This is called damage control or CYA. Okay? That's what this was, Sam. Get over it. Or Mr. Harris or Sammy. Let me tell you something, Sammy. Okay? So he continues. So for what it's worth, here is what I was trying to say. Okay. Well, good, I guess. Here we go. I was essentially arguing for a principle of self-defense. Stop right there. So you literally think you are equivocating Trump to somebody that breaks into your house, somebody that is punching you. That is what you are literally doing, Sam, right there. I was essentially arguing for a principle of self-defense. Are you fucking kidding me, Sam? You think Trump is basically the equivalent of somebody I must use force against to stop. Right there. Everything he says after this is intellectual bullshit. Well, he calls it intellectual. And it's not. Right there. This sentence, I was essentially arguing for a principle of self-defense, meaning I think Trump is such a danger, therefore I must do whatever it takes. We're done talking. Right there. If you view Trump like that, you're dumb. Really. And I'm not a Trump fan, so off. But yeah, that first sentence right there. You're just tying yourself into an intellectual pretzel, Sam. Well, let's go. All right, he continues with this, where there's a continuum of proportionate force that is appropriate and necessary to use. Again, validating his first sentence right there, which is Trump's a danger. Moving on. I always viewed Trump as a very dangerous person to elect as a president of a fake university. Yeah, Trump University. They taught fucking real estate, dude. That's it. That's all they were doing. Real estate. So you are literally equivocating a real estate university to a college university. Seriously. Are you kidding me? Are you? Wow. Wow. Um, Sam, Sammy. Um, Irony, stupidity. Okay, continuing. Let alone the U.S. And when he became a sitting president who would not commit to a peaceful transfer of power. How? He followed the court things, and if you're talking about January 6th, that's a different show. We're all land-based Republicans too. Seriously, a bunch of idiots did something stupid, and some people that were totally innocent did stuff, and that's the peaceful transfer of power. And if you're talking about challenging it through the courts, Al Gore did the same thing with George Bush back in 2001. And Kerry was thinking about doing it over the state of Ohio against George Bush. Okay, well, moving on. I viewed him as a more dangerous still. Oh, wait, I viewed him as more dangerous still. However, I've never been under the illusion that he was Orange Hitler. We don't have, dude, seriously? Again, going back, I was essentially arguing for a principle of self-defense. You view him as a danger, although, he's not Hitler. Wow, way to go to the extreme. You dialed that up from like 2 to a fucking 10. Seriously, you did. You just dialed that up from maybe, in your opinion, a 5.0 to a fucking 10. Mentioning Hitler. But I'm reasonable because I'm comparing myself to insane leftists that compare him to Hitler. Way to go, dude. Way to go. Intellectualism in America. All right. Oh, good God. All right. Where is this? That's 3 of 6, 4 of 6. On the podcast, I was speaking narrowly about the wisdom and propriety of ignoring the Hunter Biden laptop story until after the election. So, you were talking about ignoring the Hunter laptop, where the President of the United States is getting kickbacks, possibly, from foreign governments. And comparing that to Trump University, I ripped off people. Yeah, Sam, I'm going to have to press X for doubt on your intellectualism. I really am, Sam. And this is coming from a high school dropout. Okay, well, moving on. I've always thought that this was a very hard call ethically and journalistically. No, you made that last sentence as a cover my ass. You agreed with it because, again, going back, I was essentially arguing for the principle of self-defense. Right there, your first sentence basically negated everything you have to say on here because you viewed Trump as a threat. What else does, wait for it, arguing from a principle of self-defense mean? Unless you view you are under threat. That's what self-defense means. I am using self-defense because something's a freaking threat. You literally viewed Donald Trump as a threat. Move on. All right, what do we got here? But given what happened with Anthony Weiner laptop in the previous election, I think it was probably the right call. So, what he just said there, in case you didn't know, Anthony Weiner's wife was Huma Abedin. Huma Abedin was Hillary Clinton's chief of staff for her election campaign, right? Anthony Weiner, Democratic congressman, from New York, that was showing off his pee-pee to people. Yes, her emails were on there. And so what he's saying, again, but given what happened with Anthony Weiner in the previous election, I think it was probably the right call. So Hillary shared emails with Huma Abedin, who didn't have the clearance, and well, fuck it, nothing happened. It was destroyed. Who cares? Yeah, all right. Yay. Good job. 6 of 6. Here we come. I could care less about Mr. Based down there. Nothing I said on the podcast was meant to suggest that the Democrats would have been right to commit election fraud or take other illegal measures to deny Trump the presidency, nor do I think they did that. Okay. This is such an ass-covering statement. Let's go with it. Nothing I said on the podcast was meant to suggest the Democrats would have been right to commit election fraud. Yes, you did. You said, I don't care what was on Hunter's laptop, which, discludes what may be on there about Joe Biden. Again, YouTube, everybody else may be on there. We don't know. About Joe Biden receiving kickbacks from foreign governments. Foreign governments, not ripping off some idiots that went to Trump University. Foreign government as the sitting vice president, senator, and then U.S. president. Great. Just great. They were willing to do whatever it took to get Trump out of office. Yeah, all right. Here we go. Mr. Based. It was a tough call for the media at all. They were willing to do whatever it took to keep Trump out of office, even if that meant breaking ethics. You see, Sam, right there. Fraud to take other illegal measures to deny Trump the presidency. Oh, you don't see. God. Would have been right. See, he's under the assumption, would have been, that they didn't do anything wrong. Sam. Wow. So, Sam Harris is not a very good intellectual because, Sam, let me remind you of something. There we go. Here we go. Quotes from Sam Harris in his book, Lying. Unlike statements of fact, which require no further work on our part, lies must be continually protected from collisions with reality. Sam, Sam, say it ain't so. Sam, Sam, Sam. There we go. Of course, the liar often imagines that he does no harm, as long as his lies go undetected. Quote from Sam Harris's book, Lying. How's that, Sam? That working out well? Oh, wait. Lying is almost by definition a refusal to cooperate with others. It condenses a lack of trust and trustworthiness into a single act. It is both a failure of understanding and an unwillingness to be understood. To lie is to recoil from relationship. Again, quote from your own book, Sam. Oh, wait, let me try and find another one. A wasteland of embarrassment and social upheaval can be neatly avoided by following a single precept in life. Do not lie. Honesty is a gift we can give to others. It is also a source of power, an engine of simplicity. Sam! Sam. Sammy. I'm going to call you Sammy. Wow. To lie is to intentionally mislead others when they expect honest communication. And I know this show is drummed on a little too long, and I'm going to leave you with that. Sam and Sam Harris supporters, just going to leave you with that, booby. Just going to leave you with that. All right. All of you have a good day. And if not, if you can't, I hope it gets better. And my sympathies towards you. All right. Take care, you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.